Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a while since I've sat in this spot to talk to you, but on a day like today, let's be honest, we just want to feel a bit cozy. We just want to curl up, we just want to shut the world out, just forget it exists for a little bit. And that's why I'm here to talk to you, because I have a few recommendations for books that I think might be good for this present moment. That being the 6th of November 2024, if you're watching this in the future. But if you're watching this in the future, thank God, because that means there's a future. I've got 8 books here. Some are just going to bring you some glorious escapism. Some are going to remind you that there are adults in the room. And some might just help you think, what can I do now? So, with no further ado, let's kick it off. So the first book on my list... is The Hobbit, and I do think, what's the word I'm looking for? Fang, what's the word? From my own anecdotal experience, which is today, and which is me listening to this book to try to focus my mind on something else, J.R.R. Tolkien is the king of storytelling. He has the voice, as I was saying, of the adult in the room. You feel when he's talking to you, when you're reading his words, that everything's going to be okay. That even if Bilbo's going to go on a big adventure and things might get a bit perilous, that it's all going to work out okay in the end. And I really do think it is all going to work out okay in the end. So let Mr. Tolkien be the adult in the room for you today / tomorrow. Stick it on. Spotify has the Andy Serkis audiobook. So if you have Spotify, it's not going to cost you anything. I highly recommend The Hobbit today. If One Inkling wasn't enough, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. I've picked this one in particular because it is a wonderful adventure, setting out into the open sea, going across to the east, where Aslan's land may be. We get the most wonderful, savage put down of a character introduction that is of Eustace Scrubb. C.S. Lewis, a wonderful writer, and once again has that kind of fatherly, chilled, you might need to feel like a kid today. That's okay. So, Voyage of the Dawn Treader or The Hobbit, both amazing books for feeling like a little kid, like someone else, like it's all going to be okay. If you need something even more zany and something more fun and funny, then I cannot recommend Guards Guards by Terry Pratchett more. The advantage of Guards Guards as well is that you have a very strong moralistic protagonist in Sam Vimes. So if you want to read about someone who kind of has an idea as to how the world should be, and you want to do it and laugh at the same time, then Guards Guards not only is an excellent gateway into Discworld, it is also probably the book for the present moment. If you want to get a little bit more cerebral and start thinking about ways the future could be, then I've already spoken about Becky Chambers in a previous video, but all the same, A Psalm for the Wild Built is very much a book for now. It is a cozy book. It is a book that imagines, a utopic future. It is a book that imagines a different way of being, and it has many of the answers for the ailments of the world right now. Of course, in that sense, it is a little bit unrealistic. It really takes those optimistic, utopic things to extremes. But that doesn't mean we can't learn something from it. That doesn't mean we can't learn how to be better people and how to look after each other from this book. So I think the book for now, and if anything, it will transport you to another place. So talking about perspective, we could all use a little perspective right now. And you'll find it in Orbital by Samantha Harvey. A weird book. There is no plot in this book, but I did still kind of enjoy it. It is basically just following the lives of some astronauts as they orbit the Earth. Nothing really much happens, except they think a lot. They're very introspective and extrospective, if that's a word. It is now. So, just some people looking down on the Earth, seeing, the continents go by. It's pretty fun. Might be what you need, just to chill out. Orbital. Keeping on the space theme, Ursula K. Le Guin. This is Space Crone, which is a collection of her writings on activism, on gender, feminism. I really do sometimes, when the news broke this morning, the first thing that came to my head was actually, what would Ursula say? So it is so great that before she passed away, that she wrote down, all of her thoughts, that we can go back and we can read them, and we can kind of get it, and we can kind of get a bit of that wisdom. And yeah, I feel like we could really do with her now, but in her place we have her writing. One of the things that kind of prompted me to make this video was one of my friends in the States sharing a poem that he wrote today, which it really made me think about how writing and the art of writing and the art of putting your thoughts down into words that might resonate with other people, that this is the way that we're going to get through the next 4 years. We need writers imagining better futures. We need writers bringing escapism for people who are going through really tough times, because there will be people who are going through really tough times in this next 4 years, some of whom are my friends, Let's talk a bit about politics. We talked mostly about fiction. Just getting on to here, I have this book called Utopia for Realists by Rutger Bergman. I love A Psalm for the Wild Built. It really does vision cast what we could be like as societies in the future, but we also might have to think about what we can do now to make that a reality. What small changes can we make to bring that very optimistic future and to make it feel a little bit more realistic? It might be too soon for a book like this, I acknowledge. It's day one of the next 4 years, so it's difficult to think about what we can achieve when the political tides are going the wrong direction. But that's no reason to avoid books like this. I think that if anything, we need to read more so that we can hit the ground running at the next politically expedient moment. So I'm going to recommend Utopia for Realists by Rutger Bergman. And lastly, when you're feeling anxious, anxiety is a useful emotion. It tells you that either something's wrong, or it tells you to fix something or to understand something better. But there's an end to anxiety where it stops being useful and it starts being maladaptive. Where you want your anxiety to take you is into action. And so I'm going to recommend this book, But What Can I Do, by Alistair Campbell. I'm sure there are many better books out there on activism, but this is just the one that I have. This is all about the small things that we can do to affect change in the political world that we live in. The subtitle is Why Politics Has Gone So Wrong and How You Can Help Fix It. I'm a big fan of Alistair Campbell's podcast. I listen to it a lot. I think that it's a great example of also talking across the aisle and making compromises and working together, which we need more of, obviously. But this book here focuses on specifically what we can do, on a grassroots level. Like, what can the individual do to change the political tides? So, as I say, I'm not very well read in political activism, so I'm sure there are better ones out there. But this is the one I have, and it's very good. So there we go. 8 books for now. If you're watching this in the future, first of all, I think I'm jealous, because right now things are scary. Hopefully things are less scary in the future. So, I don't know, egg on my face if not. Anyway, thanks for watching. It probably won't have slipped your attention if you follow us on Instagram that Laura and I are currently doing something very cool, which is we are in the process of opening a bookshop. I know, amazing, right? This is not the announcement video. We're going to do something properly for it, but let me tell you, opening a bookshop is like one of the hardest, most challenging things I've ever done. Laura has been incredible. She is doing most of the work because I have a job, 9 to 5, that I have to do. A job that I like, just to clarify. But this is Laura's job. She's doing such an amazing job with it. But yeah, we are exhausted. We are fried. This came at a very bad time. But we're looking forward to sharing more details with you when we have them. But in the meantime, you can go support us. Now, new place to support us. Go to bookshop.org. If you are in the UK, you can nominate Station Books, which is the name of the bookshop. You can get down in the description. I think there's a link, like the affiliate link there. Currently, it will give us 10% on any book purchases you make through that shop. It will eventually make us 30%, which would be amazing. We just need to become Booksellers Association members first. So we'll let you know when that happens. We really are really grateful. We need your help with this because it's difficult. Lots of money is involved. We just wanted to do it. You know, if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Anyway, I've spoken too long. I'm going to leave it there. And yes, follow us on Instagram and like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one with hopefully better news.